ACNH friends, and welcome back to Dee's Gaming Corner. Today we are doing episode 1. Well, I'm considering this episode 1 because we are officially getting started on building the new island. And of course, like I said before, this is going to be a countryside / Grandma Core island. And I'm so excited to show you guys everything that I've done so far by removing everything from the island. I still have some areas to work with, but we'll get there eventually. Right now, I started playing around with the waterscaping, and this is the villager lineup that I wanted to go over with everyone. We have Fauna, we have Sylvana, we have Daisy, we have Winnie, Bo, Rudy, Dobie, Goldie, Maple, and Molly. And honestly, I'm actually pretty excited about this lineup. I don't know if it's exactly considered countryside, but I just really felt like they all belonged together. And I mean, I don't know if I'm the only one, but Fauna and Bo, I think I want them together. I think I'm gonna put their houses next to each other because they're gonna be each other's love interests. As for Dobie, he's gonna be the old man of the town, little cranky old man, but he cares about everyone. And I have a lot of ideas for Maple and for Rudy. So for Rudy, I kind of want to go with an apple theme for his, section when we get to that point. I just think that it would be so cute, especially because he's red. And then with Maple, I know a lot of people have overdone this a lot with the honey and the honey pots and the beekeeper's hive. And I kind of want to steer away from doing the same thing that everyone is doing. So I'm actually going with an orange theme for her. Then we're going to go with top builds and inspirations. I want to do a church. One of the builds I want to do is also a creek, which you're going to see in the next slide what I'm talking about. It's a picture that I got off of a YouTube video and with classical music, and I don't know, I felt inspired to redo it in Animal Crossing. Then we're gonna go with a flower shop / garden. I want to make it look like some kind of greenhouse kind of situation. Maybe I'll go with a meadow, a marketplace, a bakery / coffee bar, an orchard with all of the fruit trees, a reading nook because I want to do kind of like an old bookstore, a farm, and a beekeeper's shop, which I feel like I might delegate that to Goldie, just because I don't know, I think she matches the color of honey and she's so sweet like honey, so I feel like that's why I want her to be the one in charge of having the beekeeper's hive. So that's what we're going with, and I'm really excited about the church because I kind of want to put some of the wedding items on there, and I think I have some good ideas for how I want to build the fake buildings. But I also want to make it in a way where people can go inside. People can actually go inside and see the seating, and yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that. As for the meadow, I was kind of thinking of something like the green mum plant. I don't even remember what it's called. That with some white daisies, but I kind of wanted to add some spring colors in there. Not that this is a spring core island, but I just want to make sure that there is some pop of color, because I know that a lot of farm core / mountain core or countryside core islands tend to have like the whites and the greens, and I just kind of want to mix it a little bit. I've been adding some yellow flowers in there, so we'll see about that. And as for the orchard, I am thinking of doing something where it's an orchard but also the market. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so this is what I've done so far. I think I showed this in the last video, and I'm really bad at putting the design codes on the ground. I've been going back and forth trying to do all of this, and it's just so much hard work. I don't know how people make the codes on the ground look so easy and make it flow. For me, I just feel like I've been struggling with that a lot, and struggling with, you know, like adding trees and putting them in places. I just feel like I wish that we had more freedom to put trees closer to cliffs or closer to rivers and stuff like that. And then am I the only one that sometimes has a hard time remembering where each item is in the pocket? Like sometimes I just have to go through each leaf just to see what is it that I am looking for. Now, for this entrance, I wanted it to be something simple, but at the same time remind you exactly of what it's like to live in the countryside, and something relaxing and something where you would most likely find a grandma sitting down feeding ducks or something. And I didn't want to make it too grand, but I did realize that I really wanted to have dimension. So I started doing some clips, and yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So I think at this point I'm looking for a type of fence, and I just realized that I don't have it. So I decided to go with log stakes just because they're more natural. They seem a little bit more, they don't seem so structured, I guess. I don't know how to explain it, but I just figured that it would be best to use the log stakes and just mix it up later on. Then I have to move this tree now because couldn't fit the log stakes in there. And I noticed, because this is not the first time that I'm rebuilding an island, but I've noticed that every time I'm building an island, all of the villagers decide that they want to get in the way or sit down exactly where I'm trying to work on. So yeah, it's a little annoying. I mean, it's cute. I don't get too mad at them, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to hurry up. Can you move? Yep, I had to move Maple out of the way because she's just standing there. I love how she's just standing there with her little sippy drink, like her little sippy cup, whatever that is. Well, looks to me like a mason jar, but we're just gonna call it a sippy cup. Which, by the way, what I was saying about Maple is that the reason why I want to do an orange theme for her is because I want to make it inspired by Paddington. Since she's a cub, I feel like it would be so cute. If you haven't watched that movie, totally recommend. But she's going to be the one in the village that makes marmalade. I wanted to make this as natural as possible, so I'm adding some log stools, which my idea is I would like to add a duck on there. I wanted to add some greenery, and I kind of wanted to make this spot a little more cohesive, which is why I added that little cliff on the side. Like, I just wanted it to look a little more like a little more cornered, or a little bit more like a cozy little nook. That's what I wanted to go with. And then I really, really love and appreciate these little storefronts. I think we're gonna have a lot of those in this island. They're just so cute, and they give a lot of dimension, they give a lot of character, and I just feel like it's fun because it makes it seem like there is some kind of, you know, entrance, like some kind of, you know, like when sometimes you go into like a building and you have to go through security first or something. Like maybe, who knows, maybe that's Isabel's little home. I don't know. Somebody who takes care of this village, or, you know, is part of the taking like the, you know, security of the village. I don't know. And I also love windmills. We will be seeing a lot of windmills in this island because who doesn't love, or who doesn't find that relaxing? I feel like if I was, you know, physically in this island, I would just be staring at the windmill all day. Okay, now I'm thinking about what exactly is it that I'm gonna do. Sometimes I just go with it. I don't really have something specifically planned. I just try to go with the flow of my thoughts. And I always see that people do the floor designs first, but sometimes it's so hard for me to figure it out. Like, I just think that sometimes putting things on land first is better or easier for me. And then figuring out the, you know, the flooring, the codes and stuff. Okay. And then I kind of noticed after I did this, you see how many times I'm trying to figure this out and I can't. Okay, that's better. I'm just trying to make it look more natural. Sometimes I wish we could add things inside of the wheat fields. That would be kind of interesting. And also, guys, if you are interested in knowing what codes I'm using for this island, just let me know and I'm going to look them up and I'll put them in the description box. Okay, so we're back because honestly that took a minute of me just deciding what I'm gonna do and trying to just figure out these codes. So I had to kind of skip forward a little bit. And at this point, I'm also getting annoyed again because I'm like, okay, it's not even looking natural. It's kind of looking weird. And you know what? A lot of these codes, when I found them, I pretty much saved all of the ones that were there. So it's kind of like, am I doing something wrong? Maybe I'm just not realizing how it's supposed to go. I don't know. Also, we're going to be seeing a lot of wells. That's one of the items that I really want. I actually have a list of items that I would love to showcase in this new island, and I called it specialty items. So we're going with ducks. I want to put a lot of I was gonna say docks. A lot of ducks everywhere. Bunnies. We're gonna have little teapots or coffee cups, blankets, books, candles, rocks, windmills, boats. Well, we're not gonna have a lot of boats around, but stick around for episode 3 because that's where I'm going to be working on how to incorporate some boats into this island. We're gonna have a lot of benches. We're gonna have pillows, stools, bird houses, and wells. Those are the specialty items that I decided I wanted to add. And so while we're working hard over here, I'm also going to talk a little bit more about why I chose these, like some of these builds. I mean, I don't know if they might change. Maybe they will, but I'm not sure. I think that I really wanted to go with a church because it will symbolize my closeness with God and my growing love for God. I also wanted to do a river creek with a picnic area, and the reason I wanted to do that is because more than anything, sometimes I just need a moment to escape the world, and it would be so nice to have an area like a creek where you can just sit and breathe in all of the nature and natural lights. And that's why I want to build the creek. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be building the creek next to resident services or even next to this entrance. I don't know yet, but we're going to figure that out. I know that there's a lot of people on here that will lay things out first, like they'll have their island and they'll lay everything out, but I don't know, I feel like I'm so inexperienced in these things that I'm just going with it. I'm just winging it at this point. I'm just doing whatever comes to my mind. I'm just letting the creativity flow. I'm not really focusing too hard on where I want everything. It's just I'm gonna try it, and if it looks good, then it's staying. If it doesn't, then it's going. So I wanted to do a flower garden because I do love flowers and I like plants. And I wanted to do a meadow just because I also, on top of the fact that I think I said it in the first video, that I really wanted to have, I never had an area with a very nice view or something that was picture worthy. And I just felt like I wanted to add something like that on this island, at least 1 or 2 areas where will make visitors stop and want to actually pull out their phone and take a photo. So I think a meadow would be a very nice place to do that. Then we have a marketplace, because what kind of countryside place doesn't have a marketplace with all kinds of veggies and fruits and foods and such? I think maybe in the marketplace I'll do a farm to table kind of restaurant, or I don't know if I'll probably do that in the orchard. I'll probably do that in the marketplace. Makes more sense. The bakery / coffee bar, it's also going to kind of be like a quote unquote like pub in a way. I feel like that's what I'm going for. I will be adding a little bit of a surprise there because I definitely want to go in there and make it a way so that you guys can be transported into an indoor area. You already know where I'm going with this. And then we're going with a reading nook. I used to have one in my first ever island, and it was such a cute little area. It was one of my favorite spots. And recently I've seen some island tours, and I've seen people doing like, you know, the little bookstore, and I feel like I would so love to do that. A little bookstore, and then next to the bookstore it's like an area where people could just buy the book or rent the book, check out the book, and then just sit there and relax. This is going to be a very relaxing island, which is what I would like to have in real life. We're going to go with a farm. So I did have a farm in my previous Normcore island, but I feel like it was lacking a lot. So this time I want to make something really, really nice. The outdoor springs. I did say outdoor springs, but you know what? I might do that next, next to the beach, in the beach area. I'll probably do that because I've actually been, the beach area is definitely one of the difficult places to decorate, and in reality when you're in the countryside there is no beach, or so I think. And so what we're gonna do with that is that I'm going to try to work with it as much as I can and do builds on there, but I'm not gonna have the palm trees. The palm trees unfortunately are gonna go because this is a countryside, this is not a tropical island, so the trees will go, but I'll still try and find ways of decorating the beach areas. And then lastly, what I put here was the beekeeper's shop, just because bees are so important to the world and I really like how they look. Like the little bumblebees are so cute, and I just really like the items that are on there, and I have so many great ideas for it. So that's what we're going with, a beekeeper's shop. And I think, like I said, I think I'm going to give that responsibility to Goldie. Now, I thought that I could have done that for Maple, but it really is overdone. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, I think it's very cute. Like, she is a cub, but I wanted to steer away from doing the same exact thing. I mean, already I know that in Animal Crossing, one of the most popular themes is cottagecore, and I know that sometimes countryside islands tend to look pretty much the same as a cottagecore island, but I am trying to keep it a teeny bit different. So yes, we're going with that. So if you notice here, we've already gotten pretty far in the build. Now the tree, because I've time traveled so much into the future, and right now apparently it's April when it's not really April. Right now it's March still. I can see that the cherry blossom trees already began appearing, and I think I'm going to be going back in time to get rid of that, because as much as I love cherry blossom trees, and maybe who knows, in the future I'll do an island, like a pink island, because that also sometimes catches my interest. Right now we are not keeping the pink trees. They just don't go with what I'm trying to do, so that's going to be going bye-bye. We're going to be going back in time in a little bit, but right now I'm just super hyper focused on how I'm going to make this area look, you know, as cozy as possible, but also make it flow. I just don't want things to look so messy, because sometimes I feel that a lot of people might think that that is, you know, the good part of it, but okay, so now we're back. So like I said, I time traveled back in time so that I can have the green lush trees. So now we're back at March 16, which is the current date. Or is it? I think it is the current date, actually. Yeah, it is the current date. So I'm just standing here because I'm taking a look at everything, wondering what's next and if I need to change anything, because I'm not 100% happy with everything that I've done so far. I feel that that's the part of building. For me, I can't just build something immediately. I mean, who knows? I'll probably challenge myself in the future and try to do an island in, who knows, let's say 24 hours. I've seen a lot of those videos out there, but I really want to take my time with this island, and I want to be 100% satisfied with every build that I'm doing. And this is just, it's not happening right now. Like, I feel either something's missing or something's wrong. So that's why I'm just playing around with all of these codes to see. And I think what's throwing me off a lot is the fact that I'm not good with laying down pathways. I suck at pathways. It just ends up looking repetitive, or just, it doesn't look natural, or I don't know if it's in my head, but. And it's also like, sometimes I really don't want things to look the same color, but it's really hard, because it's really hard to play around with color, because I want things to match and I want things to stay a certain theme. Like those books with the red ribbon. I'm already eyeballing that, like, is that causing an eyesore? I think I'm just gonna do this oil lamp. I like oil lamps because they have a vintage feel to it. Also, at this point, I've been playing this game for hours. That's how long it takes me to figure out what I want to do with a build. There's definitely one thing I wish we had, and I really hope that they add that feature in the next Animal Crossing game, and that is, why can't we build and do things the same way we build things in Happy Home Paradise? You know how in Happy Home Paradise you can view everything from a certain point, move things around, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like, you don't have to drag things, you don't have to eat fruits to move trees, like, you just simply do it. I feel like I wish we had that option here, and we don't. When it comes to our own island, we continuously have to move things around, or sometimes we put things the wrong way, and it's just, sometimes it drives me a little bit insane. Versus in Happy Home Paradise, it's just so easy to, like, take things out, move things around, like. Also, if you notice, I do have a lot of flowers all over the place, but that is because I just moved them for now. And also, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I need to find the stackable Zen cushions. The ones that are stacked. Or actually, I don't think I need those. I think I'll be fine. There are some codes in here that I saved, but the more I build this island, the more I realize that I might not even use those codes, so you might not see the same codes in the next episode. I really like these green mum plants, or whatever they're called. I feel like they're my favorite ones. The green mums. It just gives it a more natural feel. It's just that sometimes, like, I really like the, what do they call that? Those flowers that breed with different colors, like, you know, like purple, very dark blue, black. And those are very nice, and shout out to those who can actually style those flowers. But I feel like since they're not that natural, since they're not natural, it's hard for me to use. Like, I want to opt for more natural colors, like light pinks and greens and whites and yellows. Maybe even some orange I'll add. So here at the entrance, it's just a little picnic area. People can visit and sit there and just look at all the happy villagers dancing at resident services. I also wish that in the next game we have more pocket space, or yeah, more pocket space or storage place. Actually, no, wait, that's not even it. I just hope that we have more slots, more design slots. There's so many designs I wanted, and I had to pick and choose which ones to keep, which ones to let go. I'm like, why can't I just have like 20 more slots? Okay, I think this bike is in the way, so I'm just figuring it out. Oh. You know, sometimes I actually think Kyle is adorable. There are a lot of villagers here that I'm gonna have to let go, and it kind of makes me a little bit sad that eventually they're gonna leave, because they've been on this island since the beginning. Okay, at this point, I don't know how many hours it's been, but it's nighttime. And it's still raining. And I've been figuring more things out on what exactly is it that I want to do. Like, do I want to do hedges? I really like these logs. This log fence. It really adds to the countryside look. The wheat fields are very nice. I just feel like sometimes they're so squared. I wish they were a little bit more natural looking on the edges. Okay. I think we're almost done with the entrance. I kind of did this fencing around resident services, but I'm not feeling it too much, so that might go away soon. I'm not too fond of it. I just feel like I want to do something else with that area. Okay, I'm not keeping that there. Okay, you guys. Well, I think we're done here. I think I like how it looks. I mean, if you see anything different in the next episode, I'll probably point it out. But I think I'm actually satisfied with how everything is looking now. And that officially concludes the entrance to Graceland. Yeah, definitely this fencing it's got to go. It's gonna leave. It's gonna go. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you stay for the coziness and for the fun. Thank you so much for all the comments that you've left, and thank you for following along. See you next time.